What would happen if the boat sank from its weight and you're in the boat and you have this tremendously powerful battery and the battery's now underwater and there's a shark that's approximately 10 yards over there? By the way, a lot of shark attacks lately. Do you notice that? A lot of shark. I watched some guys justifying it today. Well, they weren't really that angry. They bit off the young lady's leg because of the fact that they were not hungry, but they misunderstood who she was. These people are crazy. He said there's no problem with sharks. They just didn't really understand a young woman swimming now really got decimated, and other people too. A lot of shark attacks. So I said, so there's a shark 10 yards away from the boat, 10 yards, or here. Do I get electrocuted if the boat is sinking, water goes over the battery, the boat is sinking? Do I stay on top of the boat and get electrocuted? Or do I jump over by the shark and not get electrocuted? Because I will tell you, he didn't know the answer. He said, nobody's ever asked me that question. I said, I think it's a good question. I think there's a lot of electric current coming through that water. But you know what I'd do if there was a shark or you get electrocuted? I'll take electrocution every single time. I'm not getting near the shark. So we're going to end.
You're listening. Time I'm listening.
WATP with Christian, Eric, and Carl sometimes.
Listen in your office, in your car, or even your neighborhood bar.
We're doing it. We're doing it. We're having fun. We're making it happen.
It's fun time. Open your mouth. Close your eyes. We're going to give you a big surprise.
And here it is.
Yes. Welcome to Who Are These Broadcasters? As always, I'm Christian Bladt. Right over there is the man himself, Easy Eric Zane. Eric, how are you today?
Fantastic, with lots of space up here for people. It's like, hey, I'm over here. I'm over here.
Well, they love how far back your camera is.
I know.
And,
it's like, whatever. It doesn't matter. Who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit? Who gives a fuck? Yeah. See, I don't have all the fun drops, so
Right.
I'll just say that.
Oh, those drops are dumb too, by the way.
Well, not all of them. There are always some good drops that can be used.
Right.
Nobody cares.
That's all weenie in the butt stuff. That's what you do.
Right, exactly.
Hit the button.
All right. Well, this isn't the show that people come to for banter. That's Who Are These Socials Thursdays on this channel. So we're just going to dive right in to local news.
Others imitate it. We appreciate it.
Although, I did forget to have you explain to people how super chats work. So as much as I hate bantering with you, Eric, I guess we should let people know how the money exchange works on this show.
Yeah. The way we do this is we want Christian to say something hideous and embarrassing to end the show, like his sign off. So we've had a lot of good ones in the nearly a year that we've been doing the show, but leave it in there, and then the one with the highest dollar amount attached to it will actually be Christian's sign off. So don't go cheap, go big, go home. All you rich bastards, I know this show has a lot of incredibly wealthy people. This is the one time we'll mention money, and so that is how you do it. Also, not really related, but kind of, if that makes sense. Make us laugh with the chat, and you'll be featured on the show for the world to see.
That's right. You don't have to pay us to get up on the screen, but it helps. It helps a lot.
Right.
And I know that some of you in the chat, as we were starting, were talking about how there's been the decree of no more super chats to Stuttering John. I've been a supporter of that for a long time. all that money to us. You can even say the same things to us that you would say if you want to trash my kids, if you want to talk about, how terrible I was as the announcer of the Tonight Show. It's fine. You can, word for word, you could send us your chats for John Melendez. We will read them, and we won't back away from some of them the way he does. Anyway, now we move into the clips, and I know that what we're going to start with today, nobody likes these clips as much as I do, Eric, but I think it's a growing problem in our country. It's these invaders forcing their way into our homes, going through all of our stuff, eating our food. That's right. It's time for more bear sightings.
Cute but potentially dangerous critter on Saturday marched away from one house with a bag of Oreo cookies, unfazed by the people nearby watching in awe.
And that's why we named him Oreo.
You get it? They named him Oreo because he had Oreo cookies. Would you be where that dude was standing behind his car while the bear walks away?
No, he doesn't look that physically imposing either. He's just kind of, And by the way, the announcer calling that a critter. A critter is, I don't know, a raccoon, possum, maybe a squirrel. This is a beast.
This is definitely a beast. And look, I think that what it comes down to, the common thread in all of these is that these bears are hungry. And once they figure out that our houses are filled with delicious food, they're like, well, I'm just going to go ahead and go back. I want you to decide who is the villain in this next clip, Eric. Is it the bear or the anchor describing the bear?
You might say it was a home invasion to satisfy hunger. Newly released security footage shows a bear slipping into an open garage in Monrovia and heading straight for the refrigerator. We can see there is plenty of brew for the taking, but this bear is not interested in beer.
Yeah, the bear's in recovery.
The furry forager finds a sweet surprise in the form of a chocolate cake. We watch as the wild animal dives in for the kill. Sometimes you can have your cake and eat it too.
Look at that sweet fucking old school car in the background too. I hope he shits in that thing.
I hope he tries to take it for a drive.
Oh God. Yeah. So some rich fuck. By the way, why has he got a camera on the fridge?
Well, probably to make sure his wife doesn't dip in there. It's probably the same reason. Yeah. But,
Yeah. It's a sweet surprise in the form of a chocolate cake.
See the cake again. I love when he
watch as the wild animal dives in for the kill. Sometimes you can have your cake and eat it too.
Oh, fuck you.
I wanted to make sure you heard that because
fuck off.
I wouldn't have played so much. Yep. In my notes, it says Zane will tell the anchor to fuck off. So I'm glad that I was able to predict it. And part of the problem is, as you were talking about, like, it's just funny to watch him get the cake. And like
also
when you're
comes
walking
with
around,
concern, especially
in the
about
yard,
bears becoming more brazen and accustomed.
So we've got this one swimming in somebody's pool now.
Yeah, they're doing great things. First of all, they got Oreos. They're bypassing the beer and getting a cake. They're swimming in the pool. All this coverage. I love these bears. I'm always and they only go to the rich people's houses. Look at this fucking shit. God damn.
Exactly. Well, we have one more bear story, and I want to get your assessment on if a man who encounters a bear in his home, if he handles this the right way, starting with the fact that he films it.
Are you nice? You're in my house.
A sudden surprise for Jason Whiteman as a bear walks into his Sierra Madre home.
You're in my house. Get out of my house.
Get out of my house.
Mr. Bear. Get out of my house. Get out.
He's got to pretend like it's a black guy.
It happened Tuesday evening.
It's the same voice he uses. Get out of my house. And they're like, oh, all right. The bear's like, hey, one of us is in here, because bears talk like that. My favorite part is what he asks him at the beginning. He's like, are you nice? He's like, well, I'm a bear. So it's kind of all relative, isn't it?
As Whiteman was doing the dishes, he says the bear didn't make a sound as it came in the back door, and says
bears.
He was surprised.
Those bears are
when
like
he turned
ninjas,
around.
Eric.
He grabbed his phone and started rolling on the encounter.
You want me to spray you with water?
When the bear, which appears to be young and untagged, finally left, he realized the animal wasn't alone.
There are two of them. They always bring friends.
Oh, yeah. Always a group. Then they shoot up everything.
you two?
There goes the neighborhood.
Yeah. They'd heard that there was beer in the neighborhood that the other bear left behind.
Now they're going to start stomping somebody. Fucking, my joke is terrible.
No, by the way, I wanted to make sure we heard what the anchor said. I did like when you asked where Opie was when he got the cake. I wish somebody could have put a little CGI Opie stomping on the bear's cake. And, then the bear may be doing what a bear would do if that happened. So what's your assessment of the way this guy handled that?
I think he was just doing that to be cute. It seemed like the fucking guy. He was just kind of like enjoying it. It's probably a trained bear. He probably was just trying to get views, whatever.
Are you nice? Are you nice, bear? Douche to the Dabbleverse, taking my advice and giving us a super chat that would be intended for John Melendez. Chris, that's me. You look like you passed out face first in the litter box and woke up this morning in a puddle of puke, blood, and shit. Two of those are right. I don't want to tell you which one's wrong, but I appreciate that, douche of the Dabbleverse. All right. Well, speaking of animals out of control, Eric, we got to head up to Oregon where a rodeo did not go as planned. Let's start off with a little news piece that explains what happened.
This scary video, a Bill just decided he wasn't having it. He jumped a fence between two sections of a crowd at a rodeo in Oregon. Boom, there he goes, Saturday night. The massive animal then ran through a concession area where it ended up tossing a person. 3 people were injured. 2 were put in the hospital. A deputy also suffered minor injuries while responding to the bull's escape. In the end, wranglers were eventually able to capture the bull and secure it.
Okay.
All right. So that's basically what happened. That's the TV-friendly version of what happened. But my buddy Eric Zane, he knows how to find the good stuff.
Yes,
and
yes.
I think it's important to mention that we play the story first because, 4 people end up in the hospital, but there are no bull-related fatalities.
No.
So, Eric, that tells me we're allowed to laugh.
Yeah,
right?
well, I would laugh even if they were dead because I hate bull fighting or whatever the fuck this is, bull riding.
It's a rodeo.
So,
It's the whole thing. Yeah.
It's about time that the goddamn bull wins one. I am team bull. Plus, it's at a rodeo, so it's a bunch of fucking bigoted assholes to begin with. So fuck them.
Who knew that there were rodeos in Oregon? I think that might be the most surprising thing about this. I can't believe that there's not some statewide referendum that disallows this. All right.
I love this. I love this.
So Eric sent me this. I had to check with the WATP legal team to make sure we can show this. And don't worry, we can. I hate this song too. I would do the same thing.
Yeah, we got
Lee Greenwood telling that Trump Bible.
Of course, it's Lee
What do you
Greenwood.
expect him to do?
And they're singing with it. Watch this.
Okay. And now he's going through the snack area, which this is the clip from the news piece, but this version's a little bit longer.
Yes. Watch. It's the girl wearing the MAGA hoodie.
Yeah. Well, watch out. They say that bulls don't like red. That's one of those things that we know from Bugs Bunny cartoons. So let's see how the bull feels about the MAGA hoodie.
Oh, yes!
There's another angle. And still, So it's amazing. Tossing her around like a rag doll.
Wow.
But also, we get the on the scene reporting that you can't get on a local news station. The holy shit, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So that's going to go in the vault of greatest WATB clips of all time.
Yes,
I think it needs to be.
I think it's spectacular how the human body can go from being a walking, talking, just being a person to instantly a piece of wood. I mean, it looked fake. It looked like a goddamn crash dummy.
Like when they toss like a scarecrow for like a stunt,
Fantastic.
This next story, our buddy Reverend Shitstain turned me onto this story. And not only did he give us the money shot, which will be a clip that we have in a moment, but he did some extra credit homework so that I could understand what was going on here. He posted this in the Discord and I'm like, well, I love this clip so much that I want to know more. So basically, a woman who was traveling back home to Fort Lauderdale. Her luggage just disappeared. She was, she was told, we'll bring it to you. It never turned up, but she had those Apple tags in it, and it started pinging. So she's like, well, I want to go find out where it is. So she had an address, and she took a look and basically found a graveyard of discarded luggage.
2, 3, 4.
She dialed 911.
Yeah. So you're seeing she's counting. There's just luggage everywhere outside of the house on the porch, so she has found it. And so she calls 911. But more important than that, I wanted people to see that there is luggage at this house.
Okay.
So, but I, look, we're quick to make fun of local news anchors when they deserve it. But I want to give a shout out to this gentleman from the ABC affiliate in Fort Lauderdale. Jeff Weisener is his name. And you're going to see over these next few clips, Eric, just how dedicated he is to this story. Okay. So they have a suspect in mind. They have this address. They cross-reference it. Oh, look at that. Someone who lives at this address works at the airport. So he's not there. So Mr. Weisner speaks to the suspect's mother.
We went to that house to talk to Bazile.
You know he was stealing luggage from the airport for people's luggage?
My daughter tell me that. He never tell me that.
He wasn't home. He had a pleasant, cordial, 7-minute plus conversation with his mother, who never asked us to leave and answered all of our questions.
Because the police come in here, they don't find nothing in my house.
But when we told her at one point Garcia's Apple Watch was pinging from inside of her house, this happened.
That was coming from your house.
Stop! Oh! I told you, if you don't want to go to jail with me.
She yanks the ID right off my neck and then claims that I hit her.
Yes, put me in the camera. Put me in the camera. Put me in the camera.
Police looked at the video.
That's the proof you come to stop me.
They got me my ID back and no charges were.
Holy all right. Shit. God damn it.
Yeah. So he's not a small man. In my day, reporters used to dress up for their job, but that's all right. You know what? He's been through enough. So the mother is, let's just say, giving him the business.
Yeah, she sure is. God damn.
And she starts screaming. She does have batwing arms. Great point to Wire Christian.
No.
So we saw the mugshot of Junior Bazile is the name of the suspect. And I want so yes, this is a new Eddie Murphy film. So in any case, I think that it's probably worth meeting Junior Bazile.
Oh,
and
God.
Let's see what could have possibly come out of a woman like that.
Arrest affidavit and pictures. 29-year-old Junior Bazile.
And I'm just going to
What a
pause it.
mugshot.
I always have to apologize when our audio audience doesn't get the benefit of seeing this dude. I mean, this is his mugshot.
Yeah.
And we're going to see a mugshot a little bit later in the show that is a little bit more fun than this one. But so he's it's like they snuck up and surprised him. He's like, oh, I can't believe I got caught.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I don't even. Yeah, exactly. The total surprise. Jesus.
Apparently had her pink hard shell suitcase in the back of an airport retail store where he worked. Pictures show him rummaging through it. Her MacBook, 2 watches, an iPad, jewelry, designer clothes.
Yeah, so if you're going to steal a piece of luggage, it probably shouldn't be an easily identifiable piece of luggage. And also, maybe you should know that they have cameras in that background.
This is and Chad's missing upper lip writes, that's the bear from the kitchen.
You know what? I don't even know what that means, Eric. I don't know what he's trying to say with this. All right, so
this show's like a puzzle. The jokes fit in to pieces and to make a big picture as the show goes on.
Right. It's basically a 75-minute Tetris game. It will all fit if you keep at it. All right. So Jeff Weisener is, I think, determined to basically get his ass kicked over this Medea's luggage reunion. That was a great one. All right, so let's see what he does. He doesn't let go of this story. Jeff Weisner heads down to the courthouse, and let's see how Junior Bazile feels about these interactions.
Days later, Junior Bazile was in court for status on that grand theft charge.
He's filming.
I think we have a right to ask you. You're stealing passengers' luggage?
Go away, sir.
Nothing to say to the lady whose stuff you took?
Go away.
I mean, he's got a camera. That's a little bit of a safety net, but I think that Junior Bazile might have a little bit of a vendetta against this guy. I hope not. I would be more worried about his mother, though.
Yeah, fucking Miss Chloe there, or Cleo. What was it? Who was the one that you'd call up? Miss Cleo.
Miss Cleo. Yeah, there was I think it was a Hulu documentary about Miss Cleo, and I of course enjoyed that one. So you'll be happy to know the happy ending to this is that Spirit Airlines refunded the passenger whose stuff was lost, but they refused to admit that there was any wrongdoing from their employees. They're like, we're not saying anything happened, but here's your money just cause we're Spirit Airlines and we have so much money to give away.
What's interesting is how the fuck does somebody leave the job every day carrying all those bags? I mean, I wonder what the protocol was to make this happen.
The thinking is that he might not be working alone.
Okay.
So yeah. But I'm sure that his mom could probably get 4 or 5 on her back.
Yes.
All right. So we've all seen the latest recipient of Miss Alabama, and I want to give our video audience a reminder of just what she looks like. And I'm muting. So this is Miss Alabama, and she was crowned within the last week. And I want everybody to see just what Miss Alabama has going on. And I mean, it's there's camel toe, and then there's when you have an entire camel head. That was not one of the jokes I pre-wrote ahead of time. I just caught a good glimpse of that. And so yeah, there she is. A lot of people have been talking about this. Our chat has had some opinions about her, but I wanted to make sure that we all got a really good look at her. For our audio audience, it is the thumbnail for this episode, but you can also just Google her and find her wherever you need to. But she was profiled. This is in Alabama, obviously, because she's Miss Alabama. So they did a profile on her, and I want you to sit back, Eric. I want you to learn more about Miss Alabama.
Okay.
A crowning achievement, 8 years in the making. Sarah Milliken of Atmore has competed in the National American Miss program since she was 15.
I competed once as a junior teen when I was 15, again as a teen when I was 16, and not placing, that was really, really hard.
Now at 23, the famous saying rings true, 3rd time's a charm.
Just being able to come back 8 years later and say, okay, I didn't give up on this dream, and now, because I didn't give up on it, I get to be the next Miss Alabama and wear this crown for a year.
The one thing I need to correct is she misspoke when she said that she competed as a junior teen. I believe that category was actually a junior ton, and I just wanted to make sure that we are not misreporting the news here. Is this story coming as a surprise to you, Eric? Had you not seen Miss Alabama?
I don't know about this. And how come? Okay, I understand that. I mean, what's going on here? Obviously, this is like a Make-A-Wish thing or something, or it's there. Does anybody really know what the fuck is happening here? I mean, it's got to be a joke, right?
Well, if this were like American Idol, if you remember, people wanted to keep that guy Sanjaya. I know that's like 15 years ago, but they were like, no, we got to get the worst people into the finals. But I mean, the committee votes on this, so the public doesn't even vote on this. And so I didn't realize that the great state of Alabama had gone woke. But look, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I was going to say before. How the fuck can you be her and not be like, yeah, I get it. Okay. All right. I mean, she actually thinks that she looks good, but she looks like fucking shit. And she's convinced that she's in it because she's beautiful. She's not. She's horrible. What the fuck is happening to the world?
I think that part of this is a feel-good story because we're celebrating the ability of a beluga to wear a crown and a sash. But I want to make sure that everyone knows that not only is she the size she is, but she also has really bad skin.
Milliken hopes to send a message to all girls and young women.
And I just wanted to make sure that our video audience notices that if you didn't think it could get better, if you didn't think she could get hotter, Dwyer Christian and JFK Head Chunk, it's okay. We can't see you. Dwyer Christian says she sucked up the chocolate river at Wonka's factory. She sucked up the chocolate river. I'm sorry, I laughed in the middle of that. All right, well, let's see if she explains it.
Not just those who compete in pageants.
I hope that they learn that no matter what your body looks like, no matter where you come from, you can do anything that you set your mind to. No, I didn't think that it was possible for a plus-size girl to win. I didn't think it was possible for a girl from small-town Alabama to win.
Well, let's talk about that for a moment. There's plus sizes, and look, I think that when you're talking about plus size, voluptuous, thicker women can be very attractive. But this is plus size. Is that enough pluses? I don't know that it is.
It's fucking scooter fat, for fuck's sake. I mean, this is such a bunch of bullshit. Okay.
And let's shout out JFK Head Chunk that it's been a big year for her because she won the blue ribbon at the state fair last year.
Fat people jokes are great. They're right up there with racist jokes. I don't know which ones I love more.
Some would say that we might prefer fat jokes on this show, but they'd be lying.
Getting that win took a lot of hard work.
I worked literally every single day for 365 days. There wasn't a day that I wasn't practicing my on-stage speech or my introduction, interview.
Shut up.
And Milliken says what you see on stage barely scratches the surface of what this program has meant to her.
Barely scratches the surface of just how much she prepared over the last 360 days. All right, so this isn't just a local story. I'm delighted that you didn't know about this, Connor. Small town, that's all of Alabama. So this actually made national news. Super Size Me inspired her. Dwyer Christian. A month's worth of McDonald's in a single day might be the approach there. So our friends over at News Nation did a profile on her. And Eric, you're not going to believe this. She's had to speak out against the trolls. Can you believe that the trolls aren't accepting the fact that a plus size orca is the Miss Alabama? So let's see what she has to say about the feedback to her win.
Sarah's big moment, 8 years in the making for the plus size model and podcast host, but winning the top prize now.
And I just wanted to pause that there for our buddy Carl Hamburger. Podcast host. I will leave that on your plate, sir. That's not really what we do over here, but I wanted to make sure that Carl is fully aware that there is a podcast. And I know they've done Chubby Chaser casts before. And Trisha Paytas shows up a lot on WATS. Ira Gretlife, for the talent portion, she proved she could wipe her own ass. Honestly, that would win it if she could prove it. I would need to see. It's like the guys on My 600-Pound Life that have to like shower outside with like a hose. WATO, Dwyer Christian says, WATO, who are these obese? Yeah, that's a great question.
Years in the making for the plus size model and podcast host, but winning the top prize now overshadowed by a barrage of just cruel comments posted online.
Hilarious.
Hear what people have said.
Slamming her for her size.
Get to the
saying
comments.
She's extremely unhealthy, questioning her beauty, and calling her an embarrassment to the state of Alabama.
I got to pause that right there. I don't know that that's possible. I don't know that it's possible to be an embarrassment to the state of Alabama. But
who in that picture that we're at right now, who's happy with all this? The black chick in the white. She looks, like fucking Miss Universe.
Yeah, that's a great point. I know you'd almost think about jerking off to her because of that picture.
Yeah,
I mean,
she's huge. But she looks tiny compared to this. Fuck, this is horrible. This is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
Well, let's try and make this an uplifting story and see if we can inspire our audience.
But the 23-year-old makeup artist bravely clapping back online, saying in part, the things that have been said about me.
And I do have to point out that the anchor here is being polite because her post actually says the things that has been said about me. But the anchor said the things that have been. So she's smart too, Eric.
Gave her a pass. Gave her a pass.
Yeah.
Truly disgusting, and I cannot fathom how people think it's okay to say these things. The easy thing would be to give up. I could hide my face, but instead I say, watch me. Watch me crush every goal I set. Watch me chase this dream. Watch me show every single hater why a plus-size woman can and should be a title holder.
Well, you could probably hold a lot.
Watch me crush every chair that I ever sit in. Oh, yeah. So the easy thing would be to hide her face. I don't think so. Where would you possibly hide that face?
No.
So
it is. I'm just telling you, as natural as it is for you and I to breathe air. Yeah. It's just the way of the world. If you see someone like that, you are required to say mean shit. And that's the end of it. We stare, we point, we laugh, we make fun, get over it, fuck off.
I'll tell you what, if this was last year where she entered and they gave her a participation ribbon, I don't even think I would pull the story. Yeah. But she won.
Right. And that's even worse. I think that's even worse to say, keep living like a fucking idiot your whole life. Here's an award. This is bullshit.
We can't say that that passes for attractive in Alabama. We saw those other girls up there with her. Okay. Right. We realize that and by the way, who let the dogs in is apparently
hold on. I'm getting a message. What's that?
That's all right. We'll let EZ get a message, and I'd love to say that we've got some super chats, but usually we probably don't. We just have we got Dust Cloud actually. So let me. Oh my gosh! Hold on a second. Hang on. Hold the phone. Hulkamania gifted 5 Who Are These Podcast memberships. Hulkamania, you have given hundreds of Who Are These Podcast memberships. And by the way, Douche of the Dabbleverse had a little bit of a love letter to you. Get rid of Zane. He sucks.
Zane, what are you talking about? Come on.
Put a couple more zeros in that super chat, and I will absolutely kick Eric out of the studio.
Yeah, for $2, you get $2. Jesus Christ.
$200. I'm going to forget I have his number.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Fucking cheap fuck.
Yeah. And this is the one I wanted, though. Dust Cloud. Don't try to tell me Fatty McButterpants didn't think there'd be trolls. I think that she just was so proud of having worked for such a long time.
No.
All right. Well, to set up the rest of our segment here, we're going to pose a question to the police of Darby, Pennsylvania. We want to know, are they up to a very important task?
It's time for everyone's favorite new game show, To Catch an Alien. Are you ready to play? Catch an Alien?
So, Eric, I know you know what story's next because you sent it to me. I also want to shout out Connor in the Discord, who was all over this. If you're in the chat, I appreciate so much you making sure that that we had this. And I think that we've had enough setup of the idea that this is really just, to catch an alien. But the first thing that I want to get is just the reveal of the person that we're talking about here, a crossing guard for a middle school in Darby, Pennsylvania.
Cameras were there last night as police led 26-year-old Kiara Lee to a waiting van, her feet shackled. She faces a list of charges, including possession of drugs and corruption of minors. Investigators say she used her position as a crossing guard at an intersection near Penwoods Middle School to get close to kids and gave at least one child edible marijuana.
So hot.
I mean, come on. I'm sorry that we're giving our audience so much material to rub one out while they watch us. It's okay. We can't see you. We understand this is a really spicy show that we do over here. And I want to make sure that we really give Kiara her spotlight here.
The district attorney says they are looking to see if more kids got drugs from Lee.
Yeah. So
what the fuck? I don't even know how to put a fine point for audio people, how to describe this fucking monster.
Yeah. So think of the James Brown mugshot after he beat up his wife.
Okay.
And if he'd had just a little bit less eyeliner in that picture.
Yeah.
And hadn't shaved in a few days. So, I mean, that's like I don't know, like a 3 o'clock shadow. I mean, I'm not missing something here, right? This is
No. I noticed the first thing I noticed, unless that is just bad lighting. I guess it's possible, but she's got this. She's about 3.5 feet tall, but not like she doesn't have like Wee Man's body. It's just a tiny person with a huge head and fucking half her hair is falling out. I swear to God, if there's ever an alien that walks amongst us, it's this fucking thing.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of this person. The fact that a 14-year-old would trade text messages with her and be like, yeah, you got more of them edibles. Yeah, it's one of the craziest things I've ever seen. And I'm so glad that we got to share it. But Eric, this whole segment that we've been doing for the past half hour has built up to this important moment. It's a question for you. F, marry, kill. Miss Alabama, the mom of the luggage thief, or the alien crossing guard. So you have those three. You got to fuck one of them, you got to marry one of them, and you got to kill the other.
I'm going to fuck the little alien because she probably has a tight snatch.
If she has a snatch, it's probably very tight. You can always roll her around. Okay, no problem. All right, I'll give you that.
I'm going to marry the old lady because she'll be dead soon, and I'm going to kill that fat bitch.
Well, of course, the old lady also, she likes it rough, so that could actually be fun around the house. I personally, I would like to sub out all three of them for Oreo the bear. That's who I would rather spend my time with. But all right. Well, we need to move things over to who are these talk shows?
I said, can you dig it?
I think so.
W-A-T-B. Now who are these talk shows? Just who are these talk shows?
In putting these talk show clips together, what I realized was that the only thing that would describe this segment, these 4 clips we're about to watch, would make this a dual segment because it's also a
The week, cringe of the week.
All 4 of these clips are so cringy. And I want to basically let all of you know that these are all going to be from Will Smith's promotion for the latest Bad Boys film. A film of which our buddy Adam Hughesy, the H-Man Hughes, wrote, quote, Bad Boys 4 is either the worst piece of shit ever or one of the best popcorn action films in years, unquote. Might be both. And so Will Smith, who, we remember from movies, TV, slapping Chris Rock, all that stuff. He has really been out there. And I haven't seen these clips anywhere else. He was speaking with Univision, and this is the first level of cringe. And this is, of course, Will Smith being responsible for the cringe here. So again, Univision, Spanish television.
Años de amistad, 4 películas después, cuando empezó esta película en 1995, ¿ustedes imaginaron que se convertiría en este fenómeno a nivel mundial?
Nunca imaginé que estaría aquí. We were just trying to get to number 1. Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like Martin Lawrence kind of rescues him there with that Spanish. It's much worse than if you remember when John Cena had to apologize to China, the video, which I believe we've shared on this show.
We did share that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it sounded like he was Jesus Christ. It was horrible. He didn't even say anything.
He probably said, don't worry, I speak Spanish. But it's okay because it's not what people are going to remember this incident for. So the reporter is very excited to be there with Will Smith, and she switches over to English. So don't worry for everybody in our audience who, quote, don't speak foreign.
Dominican Republic. So when I first saw you, it was in Del Príncipe de Bel-Air.
Yeah.
I always dream to rap with you.
Right.
So I need to do it just a little bit.
Go, what you got?
Yeah. I got a lot, and you have to be part of this. I'm not prepared.
They hand her a hat
I'm not prepared.
and a microphone.
There you go.
I'm not prepared.
Oh, no.
I need another microphone at least.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
El chiquito.
Okay.
Will's like, I don't need this
This is for
microphone.
you. So,
Martin definitely doesn't need it.
He's high. He doesn't know what's going on.
okay, it's like a,
Fake laugh.
you guys can go like, please clap.
I don't know who's there that she wants to clap.
Y esta es la historia, pongan atención de cómo mi vida se transformó. Thank you so much.
Okay, so that's the way it went on their main page, Univision. But I had a sense that there was more that we needed to see, Eric. And they were fairly polite. They had her do a little bit of rapping, and then everybody laughed. But it went on for longer than that.
Dominican Republic. So when I first saw you, it was in Del Príncipe.
We'll get a better look.
I always
This is my mistake because I thought I clipped off this
So
part.
I need to do it just a little bit.
Go, what you got? Go.
I got a lot, and you have to be part of this. Y esta es la historia, pongan atención de cómo mi vida se transformó. Cambió de arriba abajo lo que nunca pensé y llegué a ser príncipe de todo. Bel-Air. Yo en Filadelfia, yo nací, crecí con goma de mascar y masquetera feliz. Siempre tranquilo, sin prisa, nada. Da de la escuela. Y luego los parientes a mi lado porque buscaron problemas. Mi madre asustada, muy seria, me dijo, te mudas ahora mismo con tus tíos de Bel-Air.
How much you rate Francisca?
Oh, no, she was killing that.
Yeah, they asked her. So then on the red carpet later, they asked her how she did, how Francisca did. Like, oh, yeah, she was killing it. The only person I like in this clip is Martin Lawrence.
Yes, and that's I think there's got to be something wrong with it, right? His brain appears to be mush in this.
Well,
I've heard that he might be fucked up.
Yeah, I've heard that. He does speak in the clips where, he seems okay. Let's just say it might have been a late night. We don't want to,
Okay.
we're here to celebrate Martin Lawrence, not bury him.
Wow.
Well, the final clip in here, I think, is the cringes of all. This is, you'll see it's from it's for a very specific audience where Will is doing a very specific kind of outreach to the Black community. And sometimes it's easy to forget. Will Smith is part of the Black community. I don't think that's how we usually think about him. And he wants to make sure that they know he's one of them. So listen to how he tells this story.
Was a chronic B student, and he would get B's all the time. And he was like, Dad, it's just, I really could get A's, if I wanted to. And I was like, nigga, I promise you can't.
Believe in yourself.
I promise you can't. You think that the difference between a B and an A is the same as the difference between a C and a B. Nigga, it's not. It's not. Right? It's like you might have to eat differently. Like you might have to change friends. You might have to study sleep.
So,
wow.
Yeah, Will Smith's been around for, 35 years. I don't know about you. I've never heard him use that word before.
No,
ever.
You're right. That felt very strange it felt strange as a white man to hear another white man say that so right. Easily. It was horrible.
Yeah. Didn't Will Smith get the memo? That's their word. We don't get to say that, Will.
Yeah. So all white people and Will Smith cannot say that word. You are not in the same boat.
I appreciate that, but I know the chat probably gets excited anytime anybody says that word on this show, though. But I couldn't believe that when I heard it. A friend of mine actually posted the clip because he thought it was inspiring. And I regret life. Spoken like someone with kids who cut their dicks off. Yeah.
I like how you couldn't say.
Why are you trashing his kids? John's not even here. All right.
I think it's more insulting. I think a Black guy should get more pissed off about Will Smith saying that than a white guy saying it, because he's clearly saying it just to act like, oh yeah, look, hey, I'm still kind of Black. Yeah. But what the fuck? They should have beat his ass right there.
By the way, he did an We're running a little late, but I do need to go back to that clip because I want to highlight the fact that Martin clearly didn't know he was going to say that. So we'll just play it up until he says it, and look at Martin's face this time.
Was a chronic
That's not
B
Martin
student,
when they
and
cut
he
to
would
the
get
wide
B's
shot.
all the time. And
I
he was
know
like,
that's
Dad,
not
you know,
Martin
it's
Lawrence.
just,
Don't put that
I
in the
really
chat.
could get A's, you know, if I wanted to. And I was like, nigga, I promise you can't.
And just look at Martin right there. He's like, "What? What did you just say?"
Like this is an incredible TV moment. This is right up there with the best TV moments that have ever occurred.
That have ever occurred. Exactly. I'm glad we're in full agreement on this. All right. I think that it's a good time to move it over to Who Are These Politics? Let's see if we have that word in any of these clips.
A lot of people talking about Christian and Carl's segment, making it great with Who Are These Politics?
Obviously, Eric and I are aware of the news that Hunter Biden was found guilty in a courtroom in Delaware earlier this morning. And I just have to point out that as of now, I have not seen any clips worth playing. I wanted pro-Hunter clips. I wanted anti-Hunter clips. Alan Dershowitz was making sense. He was like, well, no, he shouldn't have been charged. Neither should have Trump. And I'm like, all right. So there's nothing fun yet, but we got a whole week. So please go over to the Discord. You can join the Who Are These Podcast Discord. There is a channel for Who Are These Broadcasters. I want all of your Hunter Biden clips as they relate to this. I don't need the ones of him shirtless smoking crack. We've all jerked off to those, right? I don't need that again. Anyway, so before this morning, the biggest court news was yesterday. We got a new celebrity mugshot from none other than Rudy Giuliani.
Ordered Rudy Giuliani to travel to Phoenix by June 20th for fingerprinting and a mugshot after.
So, I mean, he's looked worse, I have to say.
Yeah. Okay.
When he has the shoe polish hair dye running down his face.
Okay. That was probably the worst.
He looks happy though. He couldn't be prouder. Yeah.
His indictment in the fake electors case.
Yeah. All right. I guess I didn't need that one. All right. So that's my fault. I thought that I forgot. I split up the clips because there was some bullshit in between. So one of the local news stations does what a good reporter does, and they camped outside the courthouse in like 109-degree heat, and they did find Rudy on his way out.
That's about what you did in Arizona after the election?
Oh my goodness, no.
Why not?
I'm very, very proud of it.
Proud of it? Proud of trying to overturn the vote?
That's your words. Oh, but are you on one side? Just one side? That's a hell of a way to ask.
Well, that's the allegation against you, isn't it, sir? That's what the indictment says.
No, but I'm presumed innocent, aren't I?
You are.
But you don't seem to be presuming me innocent. You seem to me to have a prejudiced viewpoint. You seem to have a prejudiced viewpoint.
Wow. He's fucked up. I didn't realize he was physically falling apart like that.
Yeah, I know. He's hobbling down the stairs. But he is in no way ashamed of his role in the fake elector scheme. Regardless of what you think about the charges against Rudy, one thing, Fancy Limo says to Wire Chrissy, that's a golf cart.
Is he getting into a gator there? What the hell was that thing?
So if you want proof that Rudy Giuliani doesn't have shame about anything, I would like to present you with this recent commercial.
And by the truth. And if I put my name on something, I truly believe in it. Today, I'm thrilled to introduce you to something I'm incredibly proud of. My own brand of organic specialty coffee, Rudy Coffee. Believe me when I say it's the best coffee you'll ever try. It's smooth, rich, chocolatey, and gentle on your stomach.
Nice.
It's so good, I even recommend drinking it black. It comes in 3 varieties, including one.
Which, he doesn't recommend taking anything black.
I
so
love
think
that.
Yeah.
Yes. I always love it when these people go ahead and basically just pull money out of people who can't afford its pockets because they're so stupid. They'll be more than happy to give him half their fucking paycheck for his stupid shit coffee.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
And there's
What a
3
grip.
varieties. There's the bold, where you have young, fresh-faced Rudy. And then the decaf is about to tumble down those stairs we just saw Rudy.
Wait a minute. Is that really him on the bold?
Yeah, that's young,
Drew Brees.
handsome Rudolph Giuliani.
Oh,
Who'd you think it
Jesus
was?
Christ. I thought it was Drew Brees.
But you said Lou Reed, which either way, that would have been close. Let's hear a little bit more about Rudy Coffee.
What I promise is the best decaf you'll ever have. You can order now by scanning the QR code on your screen or by visiting rudy.coffee. By supporting Rudy Coffee, you're not just treating yourself to exceptional coffee, you're also supporting our cause, the cause of truth, justice, and American democracy. You'll also be supporting the Call to Action nonprofit, which is devoted to helping veterans and first responders, so you can make a difference and taste the difference.
They don't give a fuck about first responders, and who, you know what? I don't either. But
well, I'm not gonna endorse that comment, but I will agree that Rudy doesn't. What percentage do you think gets earmarked for the charitable contribution? 1%?
No. You just put a fake charity on it and scam them, and I would too.
Well, Eric, if you enjoyed how proud Rudy was, wait till he takes us on a little field trip to the factory where they make Rudy Coffee.
Says here at this pristine, I call it a laboratory.
It's the My Pillow place.
Like a hospital. This is the beginning of the process for roasting. Deep green, very good quality. Most people don't use this quality.
Nope.
We deal with small farmers because they like to know who we're dealing with. They give us the highest quality, all organic, non-GMO. You should know all Arabica beans. No Robusto. All Arabica. They're going to go into the roaster, and it'll get roasted for about 20 minutes or so.
Yeah. It's a goddamn laundromat. They're making drugs.
How many of the words that Rudy's saying do you think he knows? Do you think he knows Robusto, Arabica? Do you think he knows QR code? Do you think he knows any of these?
He doesn't know anything. Jesus Christ, is that great? This is fantastic. How did you unearth this gold?
Well, I heard a rumor that Rudy had his own coffee and was delighted to find out that not only was there a commercial, he did this little behind the scenes piece. Let's find out a little bit more about Rudy Coffee. It does look like a washing machine.
Oh my goodness, look at these.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at them. Yeah, that's how you make coffee.
All coffee's made that way, you dick.
Thumbs up.
You're going to want to specially order these.
Yeah. You're going to want to get a whole pallet of
you want to special order these beans.
Look, I don't know what Rudy did in relation to the 2020 election. What I do know is that he's definitely should do time for these commercials. Chad's missing upper lip. He doesn't like that coffee now because it's brown. By the way, Chad's missing upper lip tweeted at me after last week's show. You remember the guy who stole the tank that drove through San Diego 30 years ago?
I do.
So I guess he dated a woman whose dad shot and killed that guy.
Oh, fucking shit.
Shout out to Chad's missing upper lip for being a part of history.
That is awesome. God
damn
it.
Yeah, so we were talking about how Rudy doesn't really seem to know what's going on. And unfortunately, he's not the only person in the political atmosphere who doesn't know what's going on. Eric, you sent me this, and I don't have any clips from Biden's D-Day speech, mostly out of respect for the soldiers who have already suffered enough and given enough for this country. But I support the troops. I know Eric doesn't, but I do. So just know that I've got your back. And the first responders, anybody who wants to come in this chat.
No, I hate them all. They're dicks. They're fucking pussies. Those dumb fuck military assholes.
What I like about President Biden is his ability to surround himself with people who always affirm. So he starts to turn around during taps. He turns the wrong way. And, Jill's trying to explain we're all looking this way. But then everybody's like, okay, yeah. All right. We're all going to look at what Biden's pretending to look at.
Oh, that was so bad. And behind them, all the veterans that are looking the right direction. And then he just, on a whim, decided to turn around. Holy shit, that is so fantastic. I wish those old 90-year-olds would have fucking stomped him right there. What the fuck are you looking at, you
Well,
asshole?
if the Army major was there, he might have curb stomped him, but obviously he was not there. But Eric, look, one clip doesn't tell the whole story. What you need to remember about old Sleepy Joe is how sharp he is. Everybody says how sharp he still is, and he's really quick to think on his feet. Also, he's a tough guy. So let's see how he responds in this interview.
Your opponent, Donald Trump, he has said of your executive action, he's pretending to finally do something about the border, but it's all about show. He says we have a debate coming up. Biden's executive order is weak and pathetic.
Is he describing himself? Weak and pathetic?
No, he's describing you, sir. I just said it, you dumb fuck.
Hey, Donald, I know you are, but what am I? Huh? What do you think about that? You like that one?
Oh, God.
Take that down to Mar-a-Lago. Weak and pathetic. You talking about you?
Oh, my God. So bad. I just can't with this guy. God
I wish I could listen to RFK Jr. talk, because I'd have to really start thinking about him. I mean, obviously, we've talked about how Inauguration Day would be a party on Epstein's Island, but I just can't listen to the guy talk.
I just am so sad that I have to vote for Biden.
Yeah. Well, some in the Discord would tell you don't have to, by the way.
They hate me when I say that.
There are a few people who took umbrage with you.
They got so hurt by that I am voting for Joe Biden. They're so mad at me and so cranky.
Yeah, you're in a battleground state, so your vote actually matters. I live in California. I'm going to vote for Eric Zane.
Oh yeah, everybody needs to vote for Joe Biden. That's what you need to do.
All right. Well, you hear that, everybody? Start filling out your ballots now. Remember, this election, we're all allowed to vote 20 times. You can get 20 of those paper ballots, and you can all send them all back in. But Eric says every single one of them has to be made out for Joe Biden. So we have a quick visit from across the pond, a BBC reporter who apparently doesn't understand the element of surprise. Now, this is regarding the Israeli Defense Force getting 4 hostages out of Palestine. And so this BBC news presenter, as they call them over there, wonders if perhaps they could have approached it a little differently.
Appearing to be a high civilian death toll, would there have been a warning to those civilians for them to get out on time?
For sure, of course, we cannot anticipate Israel to be warning ahead of a raid to extract or to save hostages, because then what the terrorists would do is to kill the hostages.
Yeah. So why couldn't you give a warning that you were going to sneak in there and take these hostages? Well, because they would kill the hostages. Oh, I hadn't considered that. Thank you for opening my eyes to that.
Yes.
All right. Well, look, it was a really big week for our guy here at WATB, Donald Trump, and he made some rounds. And first off, he spoke at the Turning Point Political Action Committee conference. It is a very conservative religious event, but sometimes you got to talk the way you got to talk.
With his order, I won't say it because I don't like using the word bullshit in front of these beautiful children.
So
I won't say it.
These beautiful children.
I will not say it.
You just said it, you asshole.
But it's
this thing
okay,
allows millions
because
of
listen to the
people.
crowd.
Oh, the kids. Think of the children.
Oh, the children. Think about the children.
See what you did. See what you did. You did that.
They're like, hey, he was president. If he says it, I guess we can all say it in Sunday school,
It's fantastic what he can do. And that's that right there. And that 10 seconds. He said, I don't want to say bullshit. So he says it.
Yeah.
Says why he says it. They all start saying it. And he acts offended. And so stop. That is a classic way. That's a judo flip. That's fantastic.
That is a judo flip. So never missing an opportunity to be Trump while speaking with Dr. Phil. By the way, this is a 70-minute interview. I've boiled it down to one fun clip where Trump talks about Chuck Schumer in this clip.
people. I call him Watermelon Head. He's got the thinnest neck I've ever seen, how it holds up that head. He's got a neck that's about a size 6. Very unattractive guy, both inside and outside. And people say, oh, that's such a terrible thing to say. That's okay. Very unattractive guy. Here's the thing.
But it's okay because he's a very unattractive guy.
Yeah, Jesus. Again, he just kind of throws it out there, and then he forgives himself, and then people go, "Oh, it is okay." That's how he won the first time. He's talking. He just kind of flips things around in front of you. He's like in your head, thinking what you're thinking.
And Dr. Phil's loving it. You know, maybe he's a little bit more electable than Dr. Oz. Maybe somebody should have thought about that. But he's ecstatic. But you can check that out. The entire 70-minute interview. The whole show isn't the interview, but somehow Dr. Phil had a lot of people in his crowd that were saying like, "Oh, I never really heard Donald Trump speak so much. I think you've changed my mind." Is the ink wet on this SAG after appearance fee?
Right.
Thank you, sir. But that's all right. So Trump's big event was a huge rally in Las Vegas over the weekend. Outdoors in June. 106 degrees.
Wow.
I'm also hearing that everyone who attended the Trump rally in Vegas got bed bugs. So
I know that reference. I know
you got that one.
I watched you and Christian and
that's me.
I'm sorry, Christian. You and Vinny, who by the way looks fantastic, and Jenny talk about Aaron trying to tell everybody that you gave people bed bugs.
Yeah, he was very excited because somebody said it, so it must be true.
Right.
And you might be shocked. John also believed that it was
How
true,
stupid
and
is that?
Kevin Brennan, all of them were like, "There's bed bugs everywhere." There were no bed bugs. We all had a great time.
Aaron's a retard. I kept it back didn't say anything, but he's a fucking idiot. I don't know how anybody finds any redeeming qualities out of that piece of shit. It's remarkable to me.
Yeah, but you can understand how an ugly legal analyst wanted to fuck his wife, though, right?
Oh, that was weird too. God, what a fucking catastrophe. These people are weird.
All right. Well, I don't want to veer too much into the hack verse. So we're talking about this Trump event, and it was 106 degrees. So we've got a couple of really quick short clips here. In this one, former President Trump complains about the microphone.
To make the microphone louder. It's terrible. Yeah.
Is that Hulk Hogan back there?
Looks like him.
He just came up. Are the teleprompters not working, sir? Not even a little bit. Great job. And then I don't pay the company that does it, right? And then I end up with a story Trump doesn't pay. I don't pay contractors that do a shitty job. And that's a shitty job.
I do love that he said that, but he also owned up to the fact that he's not going to pay them. So there was a problem with the microphone, and obviously people have been out there for hours in 106-degree heat, but what they really want to hear about is that he doesn't have a teleprompter.
In case you're wondering, I got no teleprompters, and I haven't from the beginning. These people. Wow. That probably means we'll make a better speech. No, I got no teleprompter. I pay all this money to teleprompter people, and I'd say 20% of the time they don't work. They don't work. The thing's waving around. They can't tie it a little bit tighter. I'm trying to look at. So we're all in.
Killing.
We're all in this together.
It doesn't matter what he says. It doesn't matter what he's talking about it. They're going to eat it all up. And at the end, all he needs to say is, "Oh, Biden, let's work together. God bless America by my Bible." They go, "Yeah, fuck yeah."
Well, it's almost like you knew. It's almost like you knew this next clip was coming up because in it, he talks about how there was so much concern about the crowd in a 106-degree sunny afternoon in Las Vegas.
Worried. Everybody was so worried yesterday about you. And they never mentioned me. I'm up here sweating like a dog. Secret Service said, we have to make sure everyone's safe. I said, what about me? We never thought of that. They don't think about me. I'm working my ass off. I'm working hard.
Yeah, you guys are hot, but what about me? I'm up here. Nobody told you had to wear a jacket, fatso.
Yeah,
all right?
and you can say what you will about Trump, but he will stand out there for hours in a jacket. I mean, how the fuck is he able to do that?
I think vanity, because he knows what he looks like without a jacket to cover up the back blubber, and nobody wants to look like Miss Alabama.
You got to give credit where it's due. In my opinion, he's a
I do.
physical specimen. He's got strength. I mean, Jesus Christ, Biden couldn't do that shit.
No. He'd have probably a team of young girls whose hair smells really good, fanning him the entire time.
That's why we got to vote for him.
So he'll put these young girls to work instead of having them stay in school. All right, exactly. I think that I like your economic plan. We've got one more Trump clip where he's very upfront here. And I have the long version of this clip because some people just took the money shot out of here. Sometimes he knows when what he says is going to go viral.
By the way, isn't that breeze nice? You feel the breeze? Because I don't want anybody going on me. We need every voter. I don't care about you. I just want your vote. I don't care. See, now the press will take that and they'll say he said a horrible thing. By the way, isn't that breeze nice?
Yeah, isn't the breeze nice? Yeah. So the press is going to run with that. That's a horrible thing.
Yeah.
So
but they didn't. You know what? They didn't, because he's already said the most outrageous shit that has ever been said. So it doesn't matter what he says.
Well, earlier in that event, we have this is the last clip of politics. Something more outrageous might have been said by one Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Gas prices are high now. Just wait until you're forced to drive an electric vehicle.
Yes, at that point, Marge, gas prices will be zero. I know that the vehicles, it's going to cost more to buy the car. Yeah, gas prices could be $1,000 a gallon. It won't matter.
It's remarkable.
What I love is side by side with this guy in the cowboy hat. This is John Rich, formerly of Big and Rich. The Country Act, endorsing Old Glory Bank. So Old Glory Bank. For when you've got money and you're an idiot. All right. Anyway, we had fun out there in Las Vegas. I think Hackamania was more fun than that Trump rally, but I'll let people in the chat decide which one they would rather go to. But Hackamania 2, as opposed to, Trump having a rally when he runs for president for the fourth time. I'm not even saying he's not going to win. I'm just saying for when he runs for the fourth time. All right. We got to head over to Sportscasters very quickly before we run out of time.
Home of the hourly triple play.
W-A-T-B, who are these sportscasters? Just listen and find out, who are these sportscasters?
A shout out again to Hulkamania, who continues to give out 5. Who are these podcast members? He's given out 20 just in our show alone.
Wow.
So thank you, Hulkamania. We appreciate that. And you're doing God's work, unlike EZ and I, who are just wasting people's time. So this is from a golf event over the weekend. A reporter was very excited about an interview she was going to get. You sent me this, Eric. Do we need to set it up anymore, or should we just watch it?
Well, there was, I guess I should say for the record who Vince Young is. He's a terrific football quarterback at Texas, I believe.
Yeah.
And then went on. He played a little bit in the NFL. No real success in the NFL, and kind of
a great college quarterback. Yes.
Yeah, great college quarterback, but a bust in the NFL. But a likable, friendly guy, and here he is.
Playing this week, he is down with Warren.
Played 6 seasons in the NFL, arguably one of the best NCAA quarterbacks of all time at Texas. Picked up golf about 4 years ago. What's the biggest shift you make going from the ultimate team sport to now the ultimate individual sport?
Now, I apologize. You have the wrong person. I'm Everett Sands over Citadel, which I'm a football coach. The thing is, the great thing about golf is I'm not only competing against myself, but I'm competing against everybody else.
Oh.
This is your first pro-am ever played, and what's the best part being out here?
Oh.
So she's like, all right, I guess I'm going to actually ask this guy questions.
Oh.
And so that's Everett Sands, Citadel assistant football coach. Not Vince Young. And it was really long, but there was a video where somebody interviewed Everett Sands, and he talked about, he did talk to Vince Young at the event later. He went up and he's like, hey, I'm Vince Young. But that's painful because I don't know. If you misidentified a white guy, I don't think anybody pays any attention. But you're like, oh, this is clearly Vince Young. Yes. Vince Young is here. So who else could this possibly be?
Oh, fuck me. I wish you would have thought he was like, name a white quarterback. Drew Brees again.
Yeah, Drew Brees again.
Brett Favre.
Well, Charles Barkley was speaking to Canadian television, and a little too casually. This was at the NHL Stanley Cup Finals, and he has to apologize to the children in Edmonton when he's speaking here.
Were your pick from the outset? What do you think of them so far?
Well, they played great in game one, but they didn't win. Bobrovsky was sorry. I'm sorry. He was freaking amazing. I apologize to y'all kids at home. He was freaking amazing.
I got to apologize to y'all kids at home. I mean, so if a Canadian reporter is just asking him a quick hockey question, how often does he use that word in life? That he can't even stop. Yeah,
he's a treasure. I don't care what he does. He's fantastic. I will always be a Charles Barkley fan.
Same here, by the way. So WFAN host Greg Giannotti has a terrible take on the fact that TNT is going to lose inside the NBA. And the only reason we have this clip for the show is because he kind of pulls a Barkley at the end.
Great show. It's entertaining. They do a good job with the studio show. The Beatles aren't breaking up. I mean, this has been going on for 2 weeks now, as if, Yoko went in there and blew up the greatest combo of all time.
But you have to remember, though, that they do have a place in the hearts of NBA fans.
I know they do.
I mean,
but we're going to move on and forget about it like everything else.
But they are individually affected, so that's why Charles is acting the way he is.
I know why he is, but I feel like in every media article I'm looking at, everybody's talking about.
So he's getting a little worked up about it. And that was the only reason I liked it. Everybody's
Yep. Oh, my God.
Oh, my gosh.
Fantastic.
All right. Well, we've got some other sports stuff that I'll save for next week, but we do have to end it in the way that we usually try to end it, with great moments in broadcasting history.
Flashback. WATB. Way back into time. Let's find out who are these broadcast histories.
So I was sent this clip of North Carolina pastor Bobby Leonard. So this is not only a Hall of Fame segment, it's our first ever Who Are These Preachers? Bobby Leonard in the pulpit at the Bible Baptist Tabernacle. He knows his opinion is unpopular, but he goes ahead and says it anyway. And sometimes, Eric, when you have an unpopular opinion, you might want to keep it to yourself.
I haven't said this in a long time. You ready? I said, if you dress like that and you get raped and I'm on the jury, he's going to go free. You don't like, do you? I'm right, though. I can't help you don't like it. I'm right. Because, a man's a man. A man's a man.
Yeah. And I mean, if she's dressed like a whore, what am I supposed to do, Eric?
My God. Fuck me. Can't be real. How does this even happen?
Not only is that clip real, but it gave me an excuse to dig up an oldie but a goodie. This is also a real preacher. His name is Stephen Dollins. This is not Kenny Powers from Eastbound and Down. Chad's missing upper lip on his side. I'm not surprised, just like the real Chad, right? I kind of knew we were going to get a lot of these comments when I played that clip, Eric. But let's see some of the dangers that not Kenny Powers wants to warn us about.
Little satanic tail. Let the camera get a view of that.
So he's showing off Pokemon characters.
Okay.
And this clip, obviously, you can tell by that sweet ass business up front, party in the back. This is from 30 some odd years ago.
Okay. Little satanic tail. Let the camera get a view of that. These pocket monsters are creatures that inhabit the world with humans. Got to catch them all. You don't need mom. You don't need dad. You don't need grandparents. You don't need aunts and uncles. You don't need school. And you probably don't even need a church. Because you're a master. This rap song that's played over again. And it says, I will travel across the land searching far and wide, each Pokemon to understand the power that's inside. And then it's enchanted to them. Gotta catch them all. Here's the next character. This is Misty. Oh. Look at this. If this was actually clear, you'd see that that's a halter top. It stops right there. And she's got short shorts on. She's headstrong and stubborn, constantly arguing with Ash.
Well, interestingly enough, that other preacher says that Misty's got what's coming to her. You know, if she's going to dress like that, Ash isn't going to be able to keep his hands to himself. And there are much longer versions of this video where he really goes through. Remember, I'm not going to read that one. I'm going to let you read that.
What? I didn't say it. JFK Headchunk says that not Kenny Powers is E-Rock with a mullet. And I don't know. I don't get it.
I don't want to draw the ire of the great Eric Nagel, who is celebrating, I believe, 10 years of It's Eric Nagel on his YouTube channel. A fine program that I've been on before. So we appreciate that. But yeah, so I thought I would send us home with the Lord. I thought that that was the best way to end the show. And okay, we have it's a little light on the we did not hit the goal this week, did we? No.
These people, you cheap fucks. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I know, and I that's the high money one right now.
Yes.
So it's one that could have gone to Stuttering John. Look, I'm gonna read it. Honestly, Dust Cloud had my favorite though. Don't try to tell me Fatty McButterpants didn't think there'd be trolls. If you'd spent 2 cents more, you would have been the high roller. But in any case, Eric, that is our show for this week. Make sure to like and subscribe. Head over to whoarethese.com. Please look up the phone number. At this point, I think people are just trying to make me mad. Just leave us a voicemail. Say it's for WATB, and I'll tell you. Say that at the beginning. Carl won't even have to listen to it. It doesn't have to be under 45 seconds. If you want it to be 3 minutes, great. Less talking for EZ and I. That's fine. And while you're over there, you can join the Patreon and become a member on YouTube, and you would get some great bonus content. And as I forgot to put the crawl at the bottom of the episode, my apologies, but tickets are now available for DabbleCon 2, August 16 and 17 in Rochester, New York. Those tickets are at carlsoncomedy.com. Eric, where can people find you?
Today, Christian, I am going to mention where you were for part of the morning today at around, I don't know, it was probably like 7 a.m. your time on Twitch. Just search Eric Zane Live, and you will find me each and every weekday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time.
And that's it's always good to know where people can find the Eric Zane show. You've got the sign right there. I'm done with the signage. I just put the logo for this show, but you can find my podcast, the Blattcast, BLADTCAST. Our most recent episode last week, we talked about RoboCop with Doug from Good Times, Great Movies. And we had a great conversation about a great film. So it lived up to being a good time about a great movie. But that's all the time we have for now. Until next time, this is Christian Bladt reminding you.
Oops, sorry.
We both hit it at the same time.
Yep.
Not just reminding you that, but that every mic is a hot mic. But Chris, you look like you passed out face first in the litter box and woke up this morning in a puddle of puke, blood, and shit. See you next Tuesday.